One of the big issues today with dentists is the student loans. If you are a dentist and you've graduated recently, you know exactly what I'm talking about, and it can be really overwhelming. Here's an area that's really important, finance, and after cramming all that stuff about dentistry into your brain, now you got to be contending with things like student loans. Well, we've got some good news for you here at Dental Nachos. We're always looking out for ways to help you. And right now, we are working with some people that can be there to help you as a dentist to know, first of all, what to do and be aware of if you're getting into dental school. I mean, if you're just admitted and going through it right now, need some help, or if you're out and you're wondering, oh my goodness, should I do this? What am I going to do in my practice? What should I do with this? We've got some people here to help you. And joining us right now from their offices out there in the Midwest is Travis Hornsby. He's the founder of Student Loan Planner. Travis, thanks for being with us today.
Great to be here, Terry.
You are doing something incredibly wonderful. You and your people, your team, are helping dentists to make sense of this confusion all around finances. Tell us a little bit about it from the big picture point of view first, what you're doing for dental professionals and how you're helping them in a financial way.
So unfortunately, student loan repayment is very complicated, and the debts that people have are multiples of what your uncle that went into dentistry 30 years ago came out with, sometimes 4 or 5, 10 times maybe as much as the debt from long ago. And because of how complicated things are with student loans, you need extra strategies to handle that debt. Otherwise, you're going to be paying half of your income towards your loans, and you're not going to be able to ever become a practice owner, buy a house, start a family, or do any of these things that are normal things that you're going to want to do. And the student loan debt can often get in the way of that.
Yeah, absolutely. And matter of fact, as you're watching this right now and you're thinking, hey, I could probably use that, you want to take a look at their website as well. Take a look at what they've got there at Student Loan Planner. You'll see that you can take care of this, ditch your student loan anxiety for good, because now you've got a team of professionals that will be working with you. I'd recommend go over there and take a peek at what they've got and what they're doing. And the kind of assistance they can give you can be amazing. So Travis, let's look at one of the areas that you serve as someone, let's say they've just been accepted at dental school. They're going to get started. They're going to go into it. They're getting their head crammed full of all kinds of wonderful things about dentistry, but they need to know about finance. They need to know about student loans and things like that. What are some important principles that they need to know just as they're getting started going into it?
Well, we have a pre-debt consult for people going into dental school that haven't yet borrowed a ton of money yet. And what we do is look at what life is going to look like post-dental school with what you're going to borrow. And a lot of times the schools will issue a cost of attendance. We find that's a very poor reflection of the amount of debt you're actually going to leave with. For a lot of different reasons, a lot of people don't account for things like interest accruing while you're enrolled in school. And so we account for all those things. We figure out what life looks like post-graduation, and we show you how to plan for your loans when you've graduated. That way you're not super stressed while you're trying to learn everything you need to learn in dental school. The reality, though, is we know that just as in dentistry, patients come to you a lot more when they're in pain versus for prevention, right? And so just in that same light, that's what happens with our own business. So we have a lot more people that book right now after they've graduated. Unfortunately, we can't do as much as we could for them if they came to us very early on in the process, but we can really help somebody that has just gotten admitted or is 10 years out of dental school that still has student loan debt or anyone in between. So that's a really great thing because, we can really solve that pain and anxiety and in some cases even depression that comes with very large amounts of dental school debt.
Yeah, definitely. Well, now let's take a look at some of the other side. People that say, hey, I'm in a practice right now, but I don't know what I can do with my practice. I've got this going on. I've got my student loan debt. What kind of issues are they dealing with? And what are some advice that you have for people in that situation?
I would tell people that their dental school debt at worst is a tax and not a debt. So everyone looks at the debt amount and they see it increasing and they think, oh my gosh, I've got to pay this off, and to pay it off, I've got to pay $4,000 or $5,000 a month. Instead of thinking about it like that, what I would suggest instead is to think of your dental school debt as a tax, where worst case scenario, you have to pay a specific percent, every sort of month to the government for your dental school education and for funding it. And what's nice is a dental practice owner is going to have more ways to control their taxable income than an associate will. So a practice owner has a lot more avenues to reduce something called adjusted gross income. So when you reduce that, you can reduce your student loan payment, which gets more of your loan forgiven. And so when you look at it in that light, you either have the option of paying your dental school loans as a tax, or if that's a bad deal because paying 10% of your income towards your student loans is kind of resulting in a much higher payment than you would have to deal with if you just paid it off, then you can sort of buy out that tax by paying a flat monthly payment and refinancing. So there's a lot of things built into that. You want to make sure you refinance at the right time to not interfere with your big goals of practice ownership and just life milestones. And you also want to make sure that you're set up in the optimal way for your tax filing status, for your retirement, and just for everything about interest subsidies that you need to know. Otherwise, you're going to cost yourself thousands, or more commonly, we see with the size of dental school debt, tens of thousands of dollars on your repayment.
Yeah, and that's what we call serious money out in the country. And we want to make sure that we minimize that. We're talking with Travis Hornsby, and he is the founder of the Financial Student Loan Planner that helps dentists like you to know what to do with it. Well, Travis, if someone's listening to this and they're watching, and they go, hey, this sounds pretty good. I'd like to get in touch with them. Let me ask you this. Before they go over to the website and get in touch with you, what are some important first steps that you would recommend they take to kind of put things in order, the right kind of questions they need to ask, things like that? What would you say to that person that's saying, hey, I'm interested in getting in touch with you?
Well, I would just say, do you owe more than what you're earning? If you do, there's almost a near certainty we're going to save you multiples of what our consult fee costs, which is a few $100s. So if you are not at the point where you're ready to pay something, then check out our blog, check out our Student Loan Planner podcast, which are free resources where you can self-educate. And when you realize that it's probably better to hire an expert versus spend dozens of your hours that's valuable that you could be spending as a dentist earning money doing something that you're skilled in, you can just go ahead and press the easy button and hire us, which you can go studentloanplanner.com/help to do.
Studentloanplanner.com/help. Very important. That's the website you want to take a look at. You'll see what's there and the kind of information. Really good job. I don't know who did your website, but they did a good job on this, Travis. Putting it together. A lot of good information there.
Yeah, and just make sure you mention Dental Nachos, because that's going to get you a year of question support after the consult. So we do the 1-hour consult, we do the prep, and we make the plan. And then to make sure the plan's implemented, we give you a year of follow-up after that consult to ask any questions that you need to. So normally people get 6 months. If you mention Dental Nachos in your booking form, then you get a year.
Very nice. Well, Travis, on behalf of the whole team here at Dental Nachos, we really appreciate what you and your team are doing to help the dental community in a real way. Student loans, we know right now, are a major issue for dentists. And they're out there, they exist, but they don't have to be crippling. They can be something that can be managed, and you're doing it that way, doing a good job. Before we let you go, any final words you would say to a dental professional that's watching this and said, hey, I'm thinking I want to get in touch with these folks? What would you leave them with before we have to close the door and head out on the street?
I mean, I would just say get a plan. If you want to do it on your own, that's fine. But again, you're probably going to cost yourself a lot more money than if you just got it done professionally. So just as you would probably not go to somebody that wasn't a dentist to get some sort of dental work done, you probably shouldn't try to self-educate on this, because there's 12 different repayment plans. There are a lot of different tax filing strategies, tons of loopholes that would take you a long, long time to learn. And it'd be better probably just to spend a limited amount of time with it so you can focus on other things which are profitable for you to focus on. So that's how people really grow their wealth, is get one specific skill and outsource the rest. So we just encourage people to, if you want to look at us more, we have reviews. We have over 500 reviews now. Our average rating is like 4.97. So we're like the Costco or the Vanguard of student loans. So double check me on that and don't just take my word for it.
Very good. Well, Travis, thank you very much for being with us today. We greatly appreciate you, your team, and all that you're doing.
Thanks for having me, Terry.
And for those of you watching this, think about that. That website is studentloanplanner.com. Bounce over there, take a peek at it. Have that team working with you. Yes, you're good at dentistry. Yes, you're smart. You've got that. This is a whole different field. And besides, even if you know a lot about this, it's good to have some people that can give you advice, who they know what they're doing. They've done it very successfully for others. I'm Terry Brock, and for the Dental Nachos team, thank you for being with us today.